Hi, I've had this Les Paul Special for a few weeks now, so I've played it quite a bit. It's a 2023 model. I did an unboxing and first impressions video, and now I just want to talk about what I think of it after having played it for 2 or 3 weeks. Pretty much everything you read about these is true. Everything I read about it is true. It's just a brilliant guitar with flaws. One thing I didn't read actually, which I've really noticed, is it's really not very good for staying in tune. I quite like the look of these machine heads. They're Gibson sort of Cluson style with the small ivory buttons. I really like the look of them. They're really neat. They're probably very light, so they help with the balance and the weight of the guitar. The guitar's very light and it balances perfectly, but they're not very good, I don't think. It doesn't stay in tune very well. I thought it might be that I just needed to restring it and play it a bit, but I've done that. Still not great for tuning. It's okay, but it's not great. I've been a bit spoilt with things like PRSs in the last few years. This just does not stay in tune very well. But it's a Gibson, you know, they don't, do they? Another negative that I did read lots about is the pickups are so noisy. The unwanted buzz and hum from these P90s. Everyone knows P90s are noisy. These really are. I've had other guitars with P90s on. I had a Godin with 2 P90s, Seymour Duncan P90s, which was a really good guitar. I had a PRS with their soap bar P90 type pickups. Good guitar. I think I prefer this to both of those guitars overall, but the Godin was a really good one. PRS looked lovely, but I don't think it was as good as these other two. Anyway, but I didn't have the problem with those two guitars. They were a bit noisy, but not too bad. But these Gibson P90s are so noisy, but they do sound brilliant. They really do. They certainly sound better than the PRS ones, I think. Not sure whether they sound better than the Seymour Duncans on the Godin, but they're on a par, if not better. So yeah, great sounding pickups, which is a positive, but very noisy. The playability is great on this. It's got a really chunky 50s type neck, not massive but pretty big neck. I think that probably contributes to the sound. It's got a really nice tone, this guitar, and even unplugged. It's got a warm tone. And I suspect the neck, the size of the neck probably helps with that. Tell me in the comments what you think about that. But it does, yeah, it's got a big neck, and it plays really well. I've set it up and it plays really nicely. It's probably not my best playing guitar, but it's close. It's really good. Plays very well. I've got no complaints there. Intonation is really good. These old style wraparound bridges are renowned for not being great for intonation, but these modern ones have got these little screws that you can adjust, just one either side. But I did adjust those and it did make a difference, and I don't think the old ones had those. I don't think. But yeah, that does make a difference. It intonates perfectly well. It's good. It's got something that you might, if you've played Gibsons, you might know what I'm talking about here. It's got a dusty feel to the neck. Well, the whole guitar actually, but especially the neck, once you've been playing it for a bit. And that's the only way I can describe it. It's a dusty kind of feel, and Gibsons have that. And I really like it. And you can probably hear it. It's not smooth, but it's just nice. There's something nice about that. And then if you polish the neck, the back of the neck, it's totally smooth and glassy, and then it's really nice as well. But the dustiness, whatever that is, I don't know what causes that, but I don't notice it on any other guitars, only Gibsons. But it's really got that more than most Gibsons I've played, and I quite like that. So it's either got this dusty kind of feeling neck, which is nice to play, quite sort of tactile, or it's got a really smooth glossy neck when you polish it, but before long it gets the dustiness again. What's that all about? And then the final sort of thing I want to say about it, which is a big thing for me, is this mysterious thing that guitars have, some guitars, where you want to pick it up and play it. And I'm always talking about this. You can't just see it on the stand and walk past it. You've got to pick it up and have a quick play. This has got that a lot. It really has. It really does want to be played, this guitar, or by me anyway. I really can't walk past it without picking it up. It's a great guitar. So overall, I'm really pleased with it. And tuning stability, that's a really annoying thing for me. And as I said, I've been a bit spoilt with some of the guitars I've had recently. But a guitar should stay in tune, and it's not a really expensive guitar, but it's not a cheap guitar. I mean, what are they, £1,500–1,600 these? So they're not cheap guitars. They should stay in tune. But this one, it's not very good for that. It could be that my strings haven't settled in yet. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh on it. Maybe I'll come back and do another review when I've had it for longer, maybe 6 months. But so far, that's a negative. And the noisy pickups, I was expecting that. So what do I do about that? Do I just put up with it? Yeah, I probably will. Or do I look at noiseless P90s? Well, then you're getting away, I think, from the Gibson P90 sound, aren't you? Are there any noiseless pickups that sound exactly like these? Please put in the comments if you know. I know there are some companies that make noiseless P90s that are meant to be very good, like Fraylins, and Fishman do like their Fishman Fluence P90s, which I think came out recently. I'd be quite interested to see what they're like. But I think for the moment it sounds so good, these pickups are so good, that you just put up with the noise. So it's just the way it is. I've been using this for teaching and for lessons online, and and in person, and I've just found that it's not a very good teaching guitar because it's too noisy. Every time I'm not playing, I'm turning the volume down. That gets annoying. I've got a telly that I also have sitting here a lot of the time, and a few times I've been teaching and I've put this down and picked up that telly. And I think out of the two guitars, I love the telly. That's a recent one. That's a great guitar. But out of the two, I prefer this as a guitar. I like this more than the telly. But that telly's still very good. And I several times have put this down and picked up the telly just because the noise gets annoying. So, you know, as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, well, maybe I should investigate noiseless P90s. But these pickups sound really good. I can't stress enough how much I like the sound of them. So overall, yeah, really good guitar. I think if it had cost like £5 or something, then I'd be really annoyed about the tuning thing. I'd probably be sending it back. But this one I got second hand. I didn't get it cheap, but I got it second hand, so it cost me a bit less than a brand new one would be now. It wasn't a hugely expensive guitar, and it's just a compromise that I know you often have to make if you've got a Les Paul. You watch people playing Les Pauls, they're constantly tuning them. So that's just the way it is. Anyway, yeah, overall, great guitar. I think I'm going to keep it. Watch this space, you never know. But I want to keep it at the moment. And if I do, I might look at changing the machine heads. Possibly changing the pickups. If you've got one of these and you've done either of those things, please let me know in the comments how it went, and or if you've got recommendations, I'd be interested to hear. Okay, thanks.